If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos. On the afternoon of April 8, 1665, several fishermen doing their jobs near Barhoft, which at the time belonged to Sweden, now modern-day Germany, reported the sighting of a battle between ships in the heavens. Shortly after the battle had concluded, people witnessed a dark, disc-shaped object overflying the area where the battle had taken place. The mass UFO sighting that took place in 1665 was seen by hundreds of people who saw flying ships in the sky. After a while, out of the sky came a flat round form, like a plate, looking like the big hat of a man. Its color was that of the darkening moon, and it hovered right over the church of St. Nikolai. There it remained stationary until the evening. The fishermen, worried to death, didn't want to look further at the spectacle and buried their faces in their hands. On the following days, they fell sick with trembling all over and pain in the head and limbs. Many scholarly people thought a lot about that, wrote Erasmus Francisci in Der Wunderreiche Überzug unserer Nieder Welt, oder Erde umgebend in 1689. This wasn't the first time that mass UFO sightings were reported. Remember the UFO battle of 1561 over Nuremberg? It seems to coincide with the accounts of people from Barhoft. Hundreds of people witnessed strange flying objects in the sky with a technology foreign to our very own today. It is believed to be one of the best recorded mass sightings in history. Hundreds of years ago, the little knowledge mankind had about stars and planets was more connected with astrology than with science. Our understanding back then was not expanded as it is today, where we know that there are thousands of Earth-like planets in the universe and that most of them have the ability to sustain life as we know it. Today we know almost for certain that other life forms inhabit the universe, and it is very unlikely that we are the only intelligent species around. Hundreds of years ago, people probably never suspected that there could be extraterrestrial life elsewhere in the universe. Scientific explanations for the mass sighting at Barhoft? Chris Orbeck and Martin Shaw wrote about the mass UFO sightings over Barhoft in the June 2015 edition of Edge Science magazine while looking at several explanations for the phenomena witnessed by hundreds of people in 1665. After their analysis, researchers were able to scientifically exclude several celestial phenomena like the angle of the Sun, producing an ice halo. But they went further and excluded the possibility that people witnessed a mirage or fata morgana, since a mirage would not explain some of the objects seen by witnesses, like the plate or hat-shaped object that was said to remain in the evening. Researchers also excluded the possibility that people had witnessed a flock of birds in the sky, since a flock would not explain the dark object that remained to hover in the sky until nightfall. An unusually large flock of starlings may have resembled such a scene, Orbeck and Shaw said. Flocks sometimes merge in startlingly well-defined masses that move in patterns before settling down. What do you think people saw in 1665? Is it possible that this is another well-documented UFO sightings that occurred hundreds of years ago? And is it possible that people in Barhoft saw what people over Nuremberg witnessed in 1561? These two cases are certainly two of the best documented UFO sightings in the history of mankind. So far, researchers have not been able to debunk these mass UFO sightings.